Hi, it's Brandon Spillane from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about exercise called the couch stretch mobilization with IR and ER. This is a great mobility exercise, also a warm-up activity that you can put in your training programs to help with your hip mobility and overall maybe even some low back stiffness and just movement quality in general. Now here at Thirst, we really like to use mobilizations like this actually during our strength training sessions. So we like to pair these with our athletes when they're major exercises in hopes that one, we maximize the downtime between those big exercises. So think about your squat, bench press, your deadlift, anything like that. Usually you want to optimize recovery between those big exercises so that you can use as much weight as possible because they're probably mainly the strength pieces in your training program. So to optimize that downtime and make sure they get a full recovery, we like to add in some fillers, and this is definitely one of those exercises that we really enjoy for squat and deadlift. So what you'll need is you'll need some kind of box and an RX pad or something to put your knee on. And this is a very simple exercise. It's just a progression on the normal couch stretch. So if you've seen the couch stretch or that hip flexor stretch before, this is just a build on that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take my ankle, we're going to put on a box, or if you're at home, a couch, and really make sure that it's in line. So first mistake most people make is this foot is actually inside the actual knee. We want to make sure it's in line with the knee first. Once we make sure that's in place, we also want to make sure we get our hips underneath us. So people will also leave their hips back, not really feeling anything here. We want to make sure we bring our hips forward, have everything stacked over our knee, make sure our ribs are down. Front stance leg is actually straight forward, not out to the side like this. So basically we want to almost just pretend like we're running. Is a good way to cue that with your athletes. Now once we're in this position, I already feel some lengthening here across my quad on my hip flexor complex. Totally normal, especially if you're tight, probably while you're doing this. So totally normal here, and then you can take some breaths of your regular couch stretch. However, what we're going to do to add the IR and the ER component, I like to start with people with their hands on their shoulders. That way they can track where their elbows are going, and then we're actually getting rotation about the thorax, and that we're not kind of just like moving our neck, right? So we can track where our elbows go as we rotate. So as we're here, everything's stacked. I feel the good stretch here. Arms come across, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate in, and as I rotate in, I like to exhale in this position, and then as we rotate out, we like to inhale. So if you know anything about your respiration process, exhaling really helps from an internal rotation standpoint, and inhaling helps with an external rotation standpoint. So we're going to pair those together. So we're going to start here, blow out, breathe in. Should let you get further across your body, and then you're going to come this way. So this would be our internal, this would be our external, and we're just going to be going back and forth with the respiration cycle and then switch sides. Now, when you do this with your athletes, really make sure they're not just going through the motions really fast. I think the breathing piece helps slow the exercise down naturally. You talk about taking a big breath in, big breath out. That's usually slower, drawn out. Going to take a little more time. Again, if you're looking for most of your strength activities, have anywhere between 90 seconds and maybe even 2 minutes of rest between your sets. To go through both sides of this is probably still going to take less time than that, but at least it's going to slow your athletes down. Now, if you're doing this as part of your warm-up, then you can just literally go through it as slow or as quickly as you probably really need to. I still think doing a couple breaths on each side is good. What we have our athletes do is usually 3 rotations through. So they'll have one leg down, internal, external 3 times, switch legs, internal, external 3 times, and then they're good to go back towards their activity that they were doing prior. So we usually, like I said, just pair this with our working sets, nothing major there. And if you're going to put it in your warm-up or just part of your daily workout routine, then I would just suggest doing about 5 breaths on each side as part of your warm-up. See how that helps you feel. If it's too much, not enough, you can then adjust, starting with it and then ending with it, and then you can just layer it in with the other pieces of your training program as well. So you got a lot of places you can put something like this. So if you've got any questions about this activity, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. Thanks. Have a great day.